Hello everyone, I hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to be talking about the shared ripoff that just came out. When it comes to shared ripoff, you're going to want to spawn wisely, and even if you do spawn wisely, there still might be some rates in here. Anyways, going on with that. And those of you who are unfamiliar with shared ripoffs, or shared bonuses as I like to call them, shared ripoffs, don't spawn this right away, because a 693 out of a 2 chance, as you can see right here, 693 plus all these, you're not going to get the summoning scroll. The summoning scroll is going to be pushed so far back that it's going to be impossible to get. You know, when you're doing like if you were young, if you're a little older and you're younger, you know when you were doing like that, I can't think of it, the machine with like the arms, like it says on top and you're trying to get the stuffed animal, and then like there's like those stuffed animals at the very bottom, you know, are there but you want, and it's like that 3 like arm machine, and it's really hard to grab them. Like you gotta have like this joystick, and then you press the button and land it down, and hopefully it grabs something. It's sort of like that, except the stuff is at like the very bottom. That's what I'm talking about for the summoning scroll. Like it's gonna be extremely hard to get, so I do not recommend spawning this wildly. How I spawn this, I use 3 expectations, and I'd recommend you using them too, because if you don't use them 3, you might not get this. You might not get what you're trying to get in the first place. Because each time I've always done these, I've only once gotten nothing. I had to spawn on my second try to get something, and for the most part, every other thing than that, I've gotten once a featured prize 3, I've gotten once, I had to spawn something on my second time once, and once I've only gotten a 3rd featured prize. Other than that, I've always gotten 1st or 2nd featured prizes on my first try, so this does really help out. It's not going to guarantee you're going to get what you want, but it will help out a lot. It will increase your rates dramatically when you're doing this spawn. Alright, first things first, you're going to want to spawn at the highest number possible. Spawning too much in a small period of time will lower your rates per spawn. So the more you could spawn at once, like the more you could spawn, yeah, what I pretty much said, the more you could spawn at once, the better your rates would be at that certain time. So since the 30 spots here, I recommend doing the 30. I don't really recommend anything lower. Just do the 30. 30 will help you with your rates dramatically, because you get to spawn 30 times, and especially when you're like lower than 200, which is also the next expectation. Is what the featured prizes left. As you're looking at the featured prizes left, I do not, even if you don't know your feature number, I do not ever recommend doing this any higher than 200. The next expectation I have is I only spawn it at my lucky number. On top of it, like your lucky number cannot be any higher than 200. Your lucky number can be at 200 or lower. At that point, it's alright. Lucky numbers you can find out in box spawns. This box spawn I do not recommend, because there's only 196 box contents left. And when it comes to box contents, this is going to be fixed, so you might not get it till you're like 40 or 50 of trying. Shared bonus spawns or shared ripoff spawns usually do not last that long, so you're going to want to have a box spawn with box spawn contents of 500, and they do have a featured prize right here that's going to be harder to get, but you want to wait for one of those to have the featured prize right here, something like this, and it's at 500, so that way you actually understand your rates better. And then you want to keep spawning until you get like that summoning scroll, or like one of the other things that are like 2 left or something like that. Then write down your lucky number. Like it doesn't have to be exactly the summoning scroll. It could be anything really that is featured prize worthy. So, like if they have 2 left or 1 left at the very beginning, it's worthy of calling it a featured prize. Write down your lucky numbers and using the one that's the most successful but the most lowest. Alrighty, so when you get all those things down, you generally will probably get something good. It's not guaranteed though. It will higher your rates dramatically. Reason I'm saying lucky number is, even if you don't have a lucky number, I do not recommend doing this. I have done this multiple times off my lucky number, but a lower number, and I've spawned it multiple times in one window, but I've never gotten something good. Like I once lowered a spawn to 97. 97. I started from 170. I lowered it to 97. And I've only gotten one thing, and that was near my lucky number. So I'm like, I couldn't believe it when I first saw it. It was at 97. I've never seen a spawn that low. There was one dude who got a spawn at 70. He took 7, not 70, but 7. He told me in the comments. So I honestly don't expect you to spawn anything that's not your lucky number. So if you don't know your lucky number, save up for a SSR guaranteed spawn, like what did they call it? The SSR guarantee spawns pretty much, and a step up spawn. Step up spawn is a better free to play, pay to win spawn. Like the 46 monster ones, or like the 46 ones with like exclusive armor that's gonna be really good, or gear, my bad, gear that's gonna be really good. Those spawns are gonna be more pay to win, free to play friendly. For if you don't know what you want in general, and you don't have damage down XL or damage down L, damage down XL, go for these red dragon armor pieces. The highest cost with this, one of the best proc rate skills, is damage down. It has a chance to greatly reduce physical and magical damage taken. If you don't know how these work, is you can only stack these twice, and it doesn't matter what damage down they are, they're still in the same family. So if you got one physical and magical damage down, that's it, you already stacked it twice. That's why this is very helpful, because it helps you stack it both in one. If you don't want that though, the relic and the staff for berserker are for berserker. Now I know I said that the staff would be for berserker. I'm sorry about that. It was a typo on A team's end. I was looking at the class bonuses and it's in staves. I'm like, what the heck is a stave? Stave sounds like a fancy pitchfork that a farmer uses. It's actually a typo for staff. So staffs actually do give the gear score or magic attack boost, I meant to say. So staves are definitely worth it for berserkers. I mean, staffs are definitely worth it for berserkers and safe relics. If you're going for rook, I recommend the sword. If you're going for archer, I recommend the gun right here. If you're going for cleric, I recommend the relic right here. And if you're going for soldier, I recommend the sword right here. Now the lance is alright and the staff is not really worth it, but you can grab them if you need infusion material. So at the very end of the day, they can help a little. And these armors right here are good for gear score. And some of you might be wondering, bro, but they have HP up. How is that a bad thing? Well, HP up is not a bad thing. Actually, I think it's still one of the best cost effect skills, even after what I'm about to say. HP up really only gives like 4k per skill. So yes, it only gives around 4k health per skill. So honestly, I don't really think it's worth it. But if you can get them and you want to put them on, be my guest. It still can be a little helpful, but it's only 4k HP, so it's not really worth it. And then you got your drops of ether, you got your awakened aurora pieces, and your drops of ether. And you got an SSR guaranteed ticket that I don't recommend touching unless you really need to. That's all for the spawn. When I say the spawn would be worth it for you, if it depends if you're skilling out something. If you really want something from this, or let's say you want that cost 33 because it'd help for awakening, or if you want some, and if you want not just the cost 33, but I want to make sure you're set in both scenarios. So, and if you want something from here as well, then this spawn will be recommended for you. If you don't, then wait for that step up spawn for you free to play, is that 46 step up spawn, and all you pay to win is wait for some really exclusive monster to come out and another like treasure or divine grace spawn. That's it for this video. I hope this helped. This is the AzureWrath, and I'll see you in the next video. I'm out. Peace.